Colin Jacobson.
Is that what you wanted to know? He's not correct, no.
Okay. Does that go for the whole of the statement or for the 8?
Actually, most of the statement, actually.
Most
of it, yeah.
Okay.
And
why is that?
Eh?
Can you tell me why that is, from your point of view?
His statement?
Yeah. Why is most of his statement incorrect?
There's a lot of factors that come into it, and they'll probably just come up in the court case.
Oh, will they? Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot there. It's huge. It's huge. So I'm not an engineer, so I can't say. I don't know why the foundation guy Rob Gibson put the foundations at the wrong level. I don't know why Ian Manel okayed this. I don't know why anybody did what they did, because I didn't know about it. Any of these walls being too high, or being too high until such time as the charges came out.
Were you not the developer for this subdivision?
No, Bella Vista Homes was.
Okay. And you were the managing director of that company?
No, I wasn't.
Or the sole director?
I was the director, and then we had a managing general manager. Yeah.
Okay. So weren't you ultimately responsible for what went on this subdivision?
No. I can't be held responsible for an LPB that didn't do their job properly, because under the LPB scheme, an LPB is responsible for what he does on site.
So you say that all the witnesses that have signed statements that they know are going to be used as evidence in court, stating words to the effect that you made the ultimate decisions because you were the company director and the developer.
So I made the ultimate decisions on what?
Can you just hear me out, please?
I made the ultimate decisions on what before you go forward? On what?
On major decisions like changing heights and levels in the excavations, like getting a variation for some of the slabs that you say that were cited incorrectly. For anything that
when I was made aware of any issues, I would go in and sort them out.
Okay.
So I didn't make any decisions on what happened from day to day on the sites. I had a general manager, I had an operations manager, I had a project manager, all working on those sites. Okay?
Okay.
So you're telling me that Peter Cooney from Classic Homes knows exactly what's going on at every single site that he's got in New Zealand? Is that correct? Is that what you're saying?
I never said anything like that.
Well, no, you're just saying that I knew everything that was going on site. So you're telling me that Peter Cooney or one of these other directors of the other companies, they know exactly what's going on site? How many nails are going in the floors? How much steel's going in block walls and that? That's what you're telling me? Awesome.
I'm not telling you.
They must be Superman.
I'm not telling you. I never said any such thing. What I'm saying is, you've got a number of people that you employed, that we've interviewed. They've made statements knowing that they're going to be used in court. That's the key word though, isn't it? Employed to do a job. Yeah. Can you stop interrupting me?
Employed to do a job. No, I won't stop interrupting you. Because
I'm trying to ask you a question.
I'm answering your questions, but you're the one that's getting all uppity here. All right?
Hang on a minute.
No, you're getting all uppity.
Can
we take a time out here, please? Let's pause. Let's just
please pay me the courtesy.
Don't be an ex-copper, mate, and talk to me like one, all right? I'm a human being here, mate. Just talk to me nicely and civilly, and then I'll answer your questions, all right?
Good.
No, not with I can't be bothered with the attitude, Bill, and his voice.
Well, I mean, it's a voluntary interview, Danny, and if you want to terminate it, you're perfectly entitled to do so.
Yeah. Well, it's just
well,
information gathering for the court case. These guys aren't interested in anything else.
Okay.
Well, I think it's giving you an opportunity, Danny, isn't it? I mean,
an opportunity to what?
Well,
I'm telling you, and he's telling me I'm a liar.
I never said that.
Well, that's what you're saying to me in a roundabout way, isn't he? But
Well,
he's telling me that I'm a liar.
Yeah, I think. Look,
I'm quite happy to carry on, but don't call me a liar. I'm telling you the truth here. Okay, I'm not telling you bullshit. I'm not telling you lies.
Don't attribute words from my mouth that I never said, please.
Okay. Well, let's stop. Danny, it's your choice. We either continue with the interview, or we don't, and you don't have to.
I know I don't have to,
yeah.
But I'm quite happy to clear things up. But these guys he just doesn't believe me, and he's like, keeps on going on about stuff. You know,
Well,
trying to tell me that I knew exactly everything that's going on site. Bill, hey,
Yeah.
I've got a whole lot of houses being built.
Yeah.
Does Peter Cooney know what's going on? Does Rick Flowerday know what's going on? ZB, you know? They don't know what's going on in every single house that they do.
all right. Let's
But when they have an issue, right, they come in and solve it, and that's what I was. I solved the problems that were on site. If I was actually on site doing this job, it wouldn't have turned out this way. Absolutely wouldn't have turned out this way. You know, the block wall heights. I never knew about the block wall heights being too high. Right? So you've got the foundation guy that puts the foundations in wrong. The block layer comes along who's an LPB. They're both LPBs. The block layer does the block laying wrong. Then you've got the building inspector comes in and inspects it. And we're talking 5 different times, you know, from building inspectors, right? And they're meant to grab the plans and go, oh yeah, nah, that's all good. Yeah, if they had said, oh, hang on a minute, your foundations down here, Mr. Rob Gibson, are too low, you need to do them to the consent of plans.
Can I just ask something?
Yeah.
Once you're finished.
So if they'd said, okay, your foundations are too low here, you need to do an amendment to the consent or something like that, then it should have been done. But I wasn't aware of it. Right? The foundation guy, Rob Gibson, didn't make me aware of it. The block layer never made me aware of it. Lee Corner never made me aware of it. Ian Manelman never made me aware of it. Dean Skipper never made me aware of it. The council inspector never made me aware of it. If they did, I would have fixed it.
Can I ask a question now?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Talk about inspectors then.
Yeah.
All right. There were initially a few inspectors on the job, and then there was some sort of arrangement.
Well, what actually happened was the jobs were getting held up all the time, and we had a meeting with council, and I think Bill Madden was there, and
So Bill,
David
you,
Simpson, Cheryl Parker, myself, we were there, and I can't remember who was there for council. I know Gary Poole and his people were there, and we said about all the hold-ups on this project, and that I couldn't afford the hold-ups, right? And then we agreed that they would appoint a building inspector to coordinate the subdivision. So I put 3 names forward. There was Brett Payne, Gary Gosford, or Mark Bell. And then Gary Poole chose Mark Bell for the coordinator. Then I received a letter from Mark Bell telling me that he was going to be the coordinator for the job. He wasn't allowed to be the only building inspector on the job, right? So there'd be other building inspectors, and that was through the accreditation system. You can't just have one building inspector. So I said, no, that's fine as long as you coordinate it. So then Mark Bell either dealt with Dean Skipper, Lee Corner, or Cheryl Parker to do any amendments or any minor amendments on site. And there was like 14 other building inspectors that inspected things on those sites. So it wasn't just one building, so it wasn't just Mark Bell or Leon Hume, it was a raft of inspectors.
right. So Mark Bell was the overseeing it. So before you were going on about the inspectors should have picked it up.
Yeah.
So was that Mark Bell's?
No, that was quite a few inspectors. Like the block wall inspections, I think were done by different inspectors as well. So they should have come on site and looked at the consent plans, correct?
Yeah.
So why didn't they pick it up?
But some of those retaining walls, correct me if I'm wrong, were B-grade masonry walls.
Some of the retaining walls on site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you understand about B-grade masonry walls?
Well, that's up to the engineers, the block layers, and whoever else is doing the job. Right? I don't actually need to understand about those. All I need to do is give it to an LPB block layer or an LPB foundation guy, and they do the job. Isn't that correct?
Who inspects it? Who's qualified to inspect it?
The building inspectors.
not B grade masonries. There's only 2 people can inspect that, and or sign off on those, and that's a structural engineer,
Yep.
because it's B grade masonry, or
So
a
there's.
rigid masonry.
So how come Gary Gosford signed off on 311? Lakes Boulevard.
Did you not make a comment on that one?
No, he didn't actually. No, he didn't say anything about that. He actually signed off it and said it was all
Sure.
okay. Yeah, I've got the go-get report.
Yeah.
So you might not have the go-get report.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Have you seen his statement?
Oh, I saw his statement. Yeah, I saw his statement. Yeah,
We'll talk about Gary. How'd you get on with Gary?
I like Gary. He's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Gary. I like all the inspectors. We just had there was a problem with one of them on site. God, I can't remember his name, but the builders on site didn't like him. So I actually asked council to not bring that building inspector on site anymore,
Yeah.
and that other one.
Because one of the reasons I ask you that
Yeah.
is that Gary Cross had attended a need away job, right? And did he failed it from memory?
I'm not talking about it either way.
No, I'm saying in one of the need away jobs.
I don't
right?
know. I couldn't tell you.
Did you not speak to him that day?
I'm not being. There's no charges relating to an either way on block.
No,
off.
I'm about as far as getting on with inspectors and things like that.
I can't remember. I can't tell you who I talked to. 3-4 years ago. They might remember.
But as far as that, can't recall a conversation from him saying that you should put up a totem pole, to get levels for levels for floor levels.
On an
and
either
things?
way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
him saying something to that effect.
The reason being, Danny,
And-
because
and-
they're different levels.
Oh, that's right, and
Yeah.
that's why all those Anita Way ones were all amended in heights, and they're all stamped off and amended. That's why they're all amended, because some of the heights. But it was really the plans, eh? The plans didn't reflect what was on site,
No.
and according,
Yeah.
I know I hit the designer up about it.
Okay.
And according to him, he just took all the levels off the council site or something. And that's what he told me, and I said, mate, like we're having big issues here with levels.
Okay.
Did Mark Bell have a conflict of interest in his role as coordinator?
No.
I don't think Danny can comment on that today. It's for Mark Bell to decide who's got a conflict.
Okay, fair enough.
I would have thought.
In your view, did Mark act professionally throughout the
Any
time
dealings
that
I
he
had
was-
with Mark, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I actually never dealt with Mark very often on the Boulevard sites at all. It was always Cheryl Parker or Dean Skipper or Lee Corner dealt with Mark Bell. So
But Mark came into the office from time to time, didn't he?
he did come into the office, yeah, and I said hello to him, and I left him with Cheryl Parker to sort out minor amendments that had to be done, and he'd bring his stamp in and do any minor amendments in the office.
Okay. You said you got on well with Gary. What about Leon Hume? Do you remember Leon?
I never talked to him.
You never had any dealings with him?
No, never ever.
Fine.
Yeah.
How did you see Bruce Cameron's role in the development?
Bruce Cameron would obviously just come in as the the engineer, and he would come in and make sure like steel was in the right place at the bottom of the walls, and that it was okay to pour.
Okay.
I never dealt with Bruce Cameron on site at all.
Not once.
Only when I sorted out the issue with 6 and either way with the underpinning. Because of the locality of the services. So when I found out there was an issue there, and Ian Manel again hadn't got the guy to bore the holes down for the footings for the line of influence onto the council services, I went in again and got Bruce Cameron up there, and I fixed the issue. We bored down, and I actually helped do the piles around it, so I knew it was done properly, So I actually put my apron on. You're right. I put my apron on that time, and I actually I got the boys to tie the steel, and I made sure the steel was in place. I made sure the rods were epoxied in, and we did the amendment for that plan.
Okay.
Because again, Ian Minnell stuffed it up. And then I found another issue that council hadn't picked up on the consented plans. I found that the bottom slab was not connected to the main foundation in the block wall that ran between them, right? So I got Bruce Cameron in, and he did the design. So we drilled down through the slab into the footing, and we epoxied 12mm rods all the way through it, about 600 centres right along the whole building, to connect the two slabs.
Okay. Did Bruce update you on progress
No,
that he was making?
no. He only came in and did an inspection, and then it went to Xandra.
Mm-hmm. What was your role? What was your view on the quality of his work?
I liked Bruce,
Yep.
and I thought his work was really, really good. I thought he was awesome, actually. I knew there was an issue between Bruce Cameron and Mike Trigger, and I wasn't going to let issues between those two influence what was going to happen on my sites, right? But it actually did. You know, I had a lot of problems with Mike Trigger on the sites, and I actually asked council to actually take him off anything to do with Bella Vista Homes, because all he was doing was finding problems, and RFIs coming through, more problems. He even, I remember on 3 Anita Way, which was Prodges, right? He sent me he sent an RFI letter through, which I read, and it had that the services that were running up the side of the section inside the private easement were council assets, and I said to him, no, they weren't. Oh yes, on the GIF, they're council assets, and you can't go anywhere near them, and this and that. And I said, Mike, go back and have a look and have a look at it properly. And I've got all those emails and that, you know. So I said to him, go back and have a look at it properly. And he came back and he goes, oh yeah, no, they are private easements, but you still have to get the neighbours' consent to do a retaining wall there. I said, no worries. So we did the retaining wall, but the pipes are running up this right away here. And I remember when we first started these homes, I sort of had another issue where this here was actually a legal road, Phil. They actually had this on the titles as a legal road. So we actually had to get a resource consent to go closer than 3 metres to the walkway boundary. You know? Another good Tauranga City Council, project day.
Do you believe that Bruce Cameron should have issued the PS4? PS4s, considering...
I don't think Danny can answer that question.
Okay. Did he do anything outside his area of expertise?
I don't think Danny can answer that either. I mean,
To his knowledge.
well, I don't think Danny can answer it. I mean, he doesn't necessarily know what Bruce's area of expertise is.
Well, he's a structural engineer.
Who employed him?
Who employed him would have been Bella Vista Homes, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who from Bella Vista Homes would have engaged him?
I can't tell you that. I certainly didn't sign an engagement form with Bruce Cameron.
Okay.
But I think that he had a sort of a deal with other engineers that he could get. He was allowed to go in and inspect work that the other engineers had designed for them. And I think that's all I know.
Who engaged CMW?
CMW, yeah, I engaged Matt Packard from CMW. Yeah, good engineer.
Yep.
Yep.
And
What annoyed me with that is that we didn't actually need a geotech Cat 1 engineer, but council made us. So none of these sites actually qualified for a Cat 1 engineer, except for, let me put that right, except for lot 12, the original lot 12. That was a Cat 1 engineer, needed to be.
Numbers there.
can you give me the property number for that, the street number?
Hang on a minute. 9, 10, 11, 12. This site here.
Numbers.
I think it is. Yeah.
Not 12, is this one?
No. The original lot 12.
Right.
So start from 9 at the bottom and count up. 9, yeah.
I'm pointing to 9
9,
years.
yeah.
297.
Yeah.
297.
Yeah.
9, 10, 11, 12.
That's right,
So
yeah.
303.
303, which was actually
303.
Craig. The front of that was Craig Carter's investment property. That's right. Yeah. But I think that was the only site in the geotech report that needed a Cat 1 engineer,
Okay.
and that was done by was it MECL? What are they? Magdalo.
That's
Yeah,
Craig Tony.
Yeah, Craig Magdalo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he did the design for that one.
Okay.
Which reminds me too, we still need to get that disclosure about the engineers' specifications on all those sites. They still haven't given us
So
that.
we're working on that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Thought while we're on video, we'll just mention it and we might be able to get it.
Did you experience any cash flow problems during the development of this subdivision?
Yes, absolutely.
And how did they arise?
Tauranga City Council delaying the progress of the sites, so no money coming in. Yeah.
Okay,
That was
so-
about in, I think, the 4th month of 2017. That's when all that started. Put all the Bella Vista's money back into it, and it was just very hard. It's very hard, and I explained that to Tauranga City Council many times in emails and in meetings that if they kept delaying it, Bella Vista Homes would not survive. They would go into liquidation. And then I was quite disappointed with when Bill Brower came up with that affidavit, and Laurie Hubbard said she wanted to bankrupt Bella Vista or put them into liquidation by January 17, and
Where did that go?
the affidavit.
Yeah.
Nowhere yet.
Sorry?
Nowhere yet. It hasn't gone anywhere yet.
So what actually happened?
In the affidavit. Well, this is what they were discussing in office.
Who's that, sorry?
Laurie Hubbard, I think it was Nigel Mogford, Lex Plateau, Patrick Schofield.
What were they discussing, sorry?
Bankrupting Bella Vista Homes, getting Bella Vista Homes out of the industry. Apparently they wanted the 2 Bs out of the industry, Bella Vista Homes and Barrett Homes. We've got witnesses to that as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, quite a few actually, and ex-council and council staff.
Didn't council meet with you just prior to Christmas 2016 to discuss and resolve these issues that you were having with them?
2016.
In the mayor's office.
In the mayor's office.
You went to see the mayor.
I never ever,
Gary Paul.
Greg Brownless never ever met with me. Gary Paul. There's Gary Paul and all the heads of departments, right?
Yes.
That was the meeting. I was actually in tears. I actually cried because Bella Vista Homes was struggling
Okay.
because they were holding up all the sites. All right.
One of the outcomes of that meeting was Mark Bell was appointed the coordinator.
No, different meeting.
Different meeting?
I'm talking about the meeting with us. We had a meeting before that with all the heads of the department. There was Craig Carter, myself, there was David Simpson, in-house lawyer, there was Cheryl Parker, and there was all the heads of department with Gary Poole, right?
Yeah.
And that was a meeting where I was in tears. I actually cried because they were holding things up so much that I knew they were gonna put Bella Vista Homes into liquidation. I told them in that meeting if they kept doing what they're doing and not letting us progress, that Bella Vista Homes would go into liquidation, where I'd have to shut the doors.
Okay. Do you recall what month it was?
There was one you attended would have been about the 21st December, was it?
That wasn't in the mayor's office.
2016?
Yeah.
Was there one prior to that?
Would have just been prior to that, only just.
Okay.
Yeah, where we went into a room and Gary Poole was the head of the meeting, heading the meeting, and there was planning, there was engineering, there was all the departments there. And I actually broke down. You know. And it actually upsets me now. To tell you the honest truth, that they didn't listen.
So was that after there was a stop work put on?
It was just hold-ups all the time.
There was a stop work put on.
No, there was just
no stop work put
it
on?
was I can't remember, right? But there was just things happening all the time, and it was a lot to deal with. There was a lot of pressure. I was under a lot of duress. It was just really, really, really hard, and I relied on a lot of people to do what they were meant to be doing, as they're part of the business or the company, and it just, I don't know.
Going back to those cash flow issues, as the sole director of Bella Vista, what did you do during that time to mitigate those issues, cash flow issues?
Put more money into the company.
Mm-hmm.
Put I think our other company, my family company, put up a house for a $400,000 overdraft.
Yeah.
Right. So we did whatever we could to try and stop and try and get through all of this.
Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, in the end, there was $4.4 million that were owed to creditors.
I don't think it's that much.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's got a lot to do with these charges.
No, nothing.
Okay. But these cash flow problems would have impacted the running of your business, obviously. Would have had a big impact.
Not that I couldn't buy paint and paint corners of weatherboards, eh? So I can't see what it's got to do with any of the charges, actually. Tell you the honest truth, I just don't want to really go back to that.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
It's part of the story of this.
No, it's not a story.
I guess if there's specific, I don't know, allegations or charges that you want to address with Danny and then seek to link them to cash flow problems, I don't have a problem with that, but I think just a vague question like that's probably a bit unfair on him.
Okay, we'll move on.
So what have the charges got to do with cash flow problems anyway?
That was my point, Danny.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just reiterating what you said, Bill.
Well, okay, then you're talking about the charges like Anita Way, for Anita Way. We realise there were some charges made in respect to the weatherboards and what have you. You know what they related to, or have you got a
I know what they're related to, but I've asked them to be clarified actually, because they're not very clear.
okay.
What is?
So I read.
Yeah. So what is?
I read them out.
Actually, yeah.
Or do you want to have a look at them?
No. Not forming the corners correctly. What is that all about?
I've got here, in some of them, right? They relate to ends of weatherboards not being primed.
Yeah. But what is not forming the corners correctly? Can you answer just that one first?
I'm just reading through the ones that I've got here.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Underside of weatherboards not being primed or painted. This here, Danny, is taken from people who number one stripped it down and went and saw what was there, and of course the person from Claymore. Okay. And I'm just going through.
I understand that.
Right?
Yep.
And fillets and rebates not being painted. Use of incorrect nails, mild steel panel pins.
On the weatherboards themselves?
On the weatherboards and corners, I think.
On the corners of the weatherboards?
I understand the cornices, the Victoria cornices, the cornices on the weatherboards.
The corners?
Yeah.
Oh, the corners?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So not the weatherboards, the corners,
And, well, it's got here, between the weatherboards, no drainage cavity between the weatherboards and cavity. Decking hard up against the weatherboards.
So there was no cavity system on the house?
No. I've got here a drainage, right, and cavity battens in all external corners. I'm just reading, the observations.
Yeah.
Decking hard up against the weatherboards and are fitted above bottom edge of box corners. Inadequate clearances from the paving, the bottom weatherboards, and also vertical shiplap weatherboards fixed horizontally, contrary to the manufacturer's specifications. Okay, that's what that relates to, those charges, right? The ones that I need to weigh.
So vertical.
Can I just finish? So here, have a look.
Yeah.
Bill, have a look at that.
So
that's what's
so
of
okay. Ends of the weatherboard's not primed. Okay. So obviously, when I inspected the houses, that house, number 5 Anita Way, all the ends of the weatherboards were primed before they put the corners on. Okay. Now, obviously there were splits and there was sap coming out of them. So the builder obviously took it upon himself on site to take those weatherboards off that had split and replace them. So I'm not sure what happened after that, because I didn't, I had a look at them once the weatherboards are on, so he could go ahead and put the finishings on. Okay. Fillets used in rebates not being painted. Yeah. Obviously, after that they put the corners on, put the fillets in, and then the painter comes on and paints the weatherboards. So I can't actually tell you anything about that. They were I think they're H1.2 fillets. Use of
H1.2, not 3.1.
I think they were. I got it. H3.1.
Yeah, 3.1 is normally timber.
H3.1 because that.
H1.2 is just an ordinary.
So
timber.
So the H3.1, I think that's in the documentation. No separation when weatherboards are fixed into concrete brick.
See, that's on the brick, and you'd know that if weatherboards or timber was on brick, in blocks, there's a capillary issue there.
Normally put mouth oil or damp course in between. Yep. Yeah. Understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
I haven't been given any pictures to prove what you guys have said.
Oh, well, I've got a couple of pictures here.
So I haven't been given any pictures.
Of
No drainage cavity between weatherboards and cavity battens. Between the weatherboards and cavity battens. I don't understand that. No drainage cavity.
It's just
between the weatherboards.
It's just what it's been taken off for SLA.
Yeah.
Only time I attended on site there, Danny, was after everything was done.
It's just I don't understand what they're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
Because
well, if you don't understand that one, that's fine. But there's the other
decking hard up against weatherboards and fitted above bottom edge of box corner, right? So you're telling me that decking doesn't swell up, expand and contract?
Normally, though, as you know, right, if decking is up against a weatherboard, there's usually that air gap of a minimum of 12, 15 mil back, so that water can drain down. And the same with decking.
But how much does
there's usually about 50 mil.
But how much does decking expand and contract?
Not 50 mil.
50 mil. What are you talking about? You're talking 12 mil, man.
No, 12 mil as you
around
know,
the edge of the house,
for deck when you put them in decking.
So
up against
the weatherboards are hard
there's usually
so the decking is
hard
up, is it?
And that one there, all right, the decking is down onto, or the weatherboards are down onto the decking, okay, which basically means there's usually as you know, 50 mil gap for drip. Which
deck
the
are
norm.
you talking about?
That's the norm.
Which deck are you
I've got some
talking about?
photographs here of.
But the weatherboards were put on, then the deck was put on. So how could there have 50 mil?
So there's again, we're going from what other people, Rose McLaughlin.
Oh, you can't trust her reports.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
There's so many holes in her reports, it's unbelievable.
Right. Okay.
Hmm.
Rose McLaughlin and the builder on site that was doing the strip out.
The builder, yeah. So
Okay.
where's this? Where's this?
These are just photographs of that I took. These are the corners, Bill and Danny.
Yeah.
All right. And this here, as you can see, there's obviously been sort of cuts made in there because obviously to get it straight or whatever. That's not been primed. Yeah, and these are the pins there. They're just ordinary panel pins. You
They're
know,
not galvanised?
No, they're not, mate. They got rust on them. I don't know whether
Well, who?
I don't know.
But this is what we need to find out: is who supplied all these nails to them? Because I certainly didn't give them these nails on site.
See here? That's
Yeah.
again. You know.
So was that to the blocks?
Yeah.
See, that's the
See,
thing.
that's the thing. It's been painted.
But
somewhere
that's the
here,
thing, Mike. Is like I go on site, I look at all the weatherboards, and then these guys go and put all the finishings on. So how would I know that this has been done?
Well, I'm just
Without ripping
relaying.
them off, how would I know
That's
this has
the
been
house.
done? I understand that, but like I went in there once all the weatherboards are on. I checked to make sure everything's primed, and actually Wes was very, very anal on priming weatherboards. That's one thing he always made sure was done, is priming
Who's
weatherboards.
Wes?
He was the builder on site, the qualified builder that was building this house.
Wasn't that the apprentice? No.
He was a qualified builder building this house.
Okay.
He was apprentice years before that,
Okay.
a while before that, right? But he was the one building the house. He was a qualified builder.
Was he a licensed building practitioner?
No, but he is now. Okay, but he was a qualified builder on that house, so I trusted him. And once the weatherboards were on, he'd put all the finishings on. So how would I know what he did after that? I can't see behind box corners. I can't see behind weatherboards, can I?
So did you not supervise him on?
I wasn't there every day, was I? You don't have to be there every day as an LPB supervisor. You have to be there at key points, which is what I'm saying is the building inspector only had to be there 12 times, and they signed the house off and give it a code of compliance. So why would I not have the same inspections as a building inspector? And they signed it all off. They said it was all okay. They said the weather, obviously when they signed off and passed the final, they said the weatherboards were all okay, and the distance from the paving to the weatherboards are all okay. And you know, I can't second guess a building inspector. They're the council. They're the ones that sign it off. They're the ones that say it complies. I've got
But
passes.
they rely on documentation from.
No. No, they rely.
on
They pass it on the final. I've had a few times where they haven't passed things and we've rectified it. So if they had said, hey, listen, your cobbles are too close to the weatherboards, and they'd notified me, I would have said, okay, we need the cobble guys up to readjust them. Right? But other than that, if the building inspector comes on site and says, yep, no, everything's okay, everything's passed, everything complies with the consented plans, as the documentation I've got, why would I second guess the building inspector? They're the council. They're the authority.
Okay.
The local authority.
We just go back.
I'm not the local authority. I can't tell them what to do.
From what I've just showed you, what do you think of that?
I think that the council should have actually just come to me and said, hey, you're an LPB builder. You gave this house a 10-year warranty on workmanship and everything, right? You should be given the opportunity to fix it. And I would have said, well, not a problem. I'll go in there and have a look at it. And if I think that something's been done wrong, I'll fix it. Not a problem.
But this was just discovered in June 2019.
Yeah, so why didn't they tell me?
During destruction, because you said before that you couldn't see what was going on behind the outside surface.
No, so
how do you expect the building inspectors to? If you can't see it, how are they going to see it?
What, weatherboards being too close to the cobbles? Are they blind?
The concrete.
Well, the concrete, whatever. Are they blind?
Wasn't that something that you would have seen?
Why would I see it? If the building inspector passed it and said, hey, everything complies with the consented plans, as the documentation says, you know that to their knowledge, everything complies with the consented building consent, why would I second guess the building inspector? Why would I second guess the Tauranga City Council? They are the local authority. If they said to me, hey, that's not right, we're not going to give you, I'll pass this final until you fix it, I would have said, okay, well, we better fix it then.
Because you signed off on the...
Doesn't matter. Record of works is
Record
not
of
an
works.
admission of guilt. Do you not know that? A record of works is just what the builder has done on site. It doesn't mean you're liable for anything, a record of works. Do you not understand that? It means that you supervise this stuff, and then the local authority comes along and passes it all. Okay, not a problem. Go to final. You can have your CCC. Everything complies. I'm only a builder. I'm only an LPB builder at the time. The council are the authority. The council are the ones that are in charge, not me. And if they say it's passed and you can go on to the next stage, then hey, they must be right.
They're right now. Before you're arguing they're wrong.
No, that's what you guys are saying. You guys are saying in the documentation, or actually, no, I should make that clearer. Graham Colgan said that they're negligent in their inspections on the reports that he relied upon, on the reports that Tauranga City Council said he could have to read, and that's all. Not on what I say. Right? Even Paul Heath said the reports that council relied upon need to be robustly tested. You obviously read the Opus report on 311.
I haven't read that.
You haven't read that? Well, you know 311 is not a dangerous building according to MBIE.
Yeah, but dangerous buildings, there's a high, I accept there's a high level for a dangerous, to make dangerous.
Well, it's not a dangerous
based
building,
on
and neither are
things.
the ones around it. So that's from the government. Hey, it's not on me, it's an independent report.
That dangerous building's got nothing to do with the charges as far as the building code's concerned, is it?
Well, no. You're saying that these block walls made the houses dangerous. Even our councillors said that because the retaining walls weren't built, they were all dangerous. You know. But hey, they are the local authority. If they pass it and go on to the next stage, don't you think they've got a duty of care to me, the shareholder of Bella Vista Homes, as well as the homeowners, as well as everybody else? Don't you think they have a duty of care? They're there on site and they say, yep, no, it's all good. You can go on to the next stage, builder. But Danny sitting in his office as a director doesn't know that he's passed it and these guys haven't done a proper job or whatever you guys are alleging.
Council inspectors are not there to tell a developer such as yourself how to do your job.
They never did.
Just as
But I didn't say they told me how to
doesn't
do my
tell-
job, did I? But they can tell a builder on site what's wrong and what's right, and if they're going to pass it or they're not going to pass it, and you need to fix it, and they can stop the job.
I think you've probably answered Mr. O'Connor's question about as thoroughly as you possibly could.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we talk about the retaining walls then.
Yeah.
You've raised the retaining walls. You're aware that the destructive testing, Danny, that went on with some of those walls?
What you're talking about the block walls, eh?
Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah. And you disclosed some of the photographs, some of those photographs?
Yeah, that'd be, yep.
Yep. I've only got a little series of them, you know.
Yeah.
You've seen them. I went first of all on between the 10th and the 13th,
Yeah.
2018,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then later on, I went on with a gentleman named Dave Allen. Is it Dave Allen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My son-in-law, yeah.
Oh, was his son-in-law?
Yeah,
Yep,
he is, yeah.
yep. He was there
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
we did some. I suppose, or it was just showing you some of these.
Yeah.
All right, you've probably already, as you said, you've already
Yeah.
seen those.
Yeah.
Danny?
Yeah. So you can, I love these actually. These are quite cool because you see how they've done this invasive testing up quite high, higher than 1400. Well, the starter bars are only probably a metre to probably 1400 high from the footings up, right? Now, the consented plans actually state that the starters have to be 60 mils from the earth base of the block. That's what I've sort of had a look at and ascertained here. Now, when Colin Jacobson has done this invasive testing, he's measured to these bits of steel at the front here, right? And these are the rods that run all the way up, right? Now, those rods that run all the way up, right, to the front face of that steel from the front of the block should be 89 millimetres according to the consented plans.
Right. So
And the engineers, so centrally placed in the walls.
so you
Right, and you know as well as I do that the actual code for the for engineers states that when you have 12 more bars in a wall, right? You tie it at the bottom and the top. This is what I've read. This is after all of this, right? So I've learned a little bit more about the engineering side of it. So you tie them at the bottom and the top of the wall. The middle doesn't get tied. So how can you control? I don't see how you control the steel moving in the wall in the middle of the wall.
Can I just clarify for the record that you've been shown photographs of invasive testing on the block wall near the front of 297A Lakes Boulevard?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the front of what I've done here.
Yeah.
Right, and that's a close up there.
But yeah.
Well, as I said, this is I'm just going
So
over.
I've been charged with this, right? I've been charged for the steel going in the walls, right? But I'm not an LPB block layer. I didn't put the steel in, and I hadn't. And LPB, as you say, is responsible for the work he does under the LPB scheme. So I can't actually comment on this because I didn't do the job, I didn't see it, and I know nothing about it because I'm not the LPB block layer. I'm only telling you from what I've learned after these charges have come in.
But yeah, and the comments were by Colin Jacobson, and again,
Oh, mate.
I'm not a structural engineer.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to.
What I wanted to see is I went in at different stages and I watched them pull the blocks out right down to the footings, and I've got video evidence of the steel being between 60 and 80 mils from the earth face of the wall to the steel. Okay, so it's very, very close on where it was meant to be on the starters from the foundations. The consented plans don't actually state that all the steel going all the way up has to be 60 mils from the earth face. And actual engineers' details say it's just centrally placed. Just centrally placed, that's what they say.
All right.
In the details.
So I'm just showing. Showing
But that's what I'm sort of saying to you.
Yeah.
That's the problem I have with all of this. Is that how would I know about it when I'm not an LPB block layer and I didn't do the steel and I knew nothing about the steel going in the walls? Because the LPB has given a set of plans, obviously, that are on site. The consented plans are on site, specifications are on site. Him as an LPB is responsible for looking at the plans, making sure everything's right. And if the foundation guy had put the foundations in wrong, then the block layer should have said, hey, right, we're stopping this until this is sorted out because I'm not doing the blocks until this is sorted.
All right, so I'll show you another set. This one here.
Yep.
This is 297. All right.
Yeah. Again,
Closest test in a block wall.
Yeah,
this is the 3604.
Yeah, 297. There was no steel. I think there was no verticals on the top of that wall. Yeah, which I never knew anything about because I was never involved in the blocks and the block laying. So I didn't know anything about that, and I think that's absolutely disgusting. To tell you the honest truth.
Yeah, because
that if there's steel missing in the top of those walls, then the block layer needs to answer to that.
That was the destructive testing on the 8th.
Yeah. I was disgusted, honestly.
That's
absolutely disgusted.
Is that Dave?
Yeah. And you know what? I think the liquidator should go back to him and say, hey, you owe us a lot of money back because you didn't do the job properly. There you go. Absolutely.
So that
rips me to bits, I'll tell you.
All right. So that's 297.
Yep.
Okay. That was when that was done on the 10th and 13th to the 13th, and that was when we returned.
But how do I get charged for this though?
I'm just going through the stuff with you. As I said, we're going through.
Yeah, but going through it, it's
and that relates to the charges. That's what I'm doing.
But how do I get charged with it? Because I didn't have anything to do with it. I'm not an LPB block layer, so how could I do it? I wasn't even on site. You know? It just boggles my mind. It boggles my mind, actually.
Because it's the prosecution's case that you were the LBP.
Yeah, but
all of the houses.
Can we move on?
Let's not get into arguing legalised because we'll sit here and disagree with each other, and there's no point.
Okay. I'm the LPB,
Yeah. All right. That was. I got called up there, Danny. That was they'd put when they were taking these or getting ready to take these away.
Yeah.
All right. So that had lines drawn on at the outside, chalk lines, right?
Yeah.
And of course, there it shows.
Oh,
this.
so they put the bars in there, did they?
That,
All the way up.
that shows there,
Oh,
see,
yeah.
and that shows the distance, right? You know, it's not.
Still 600 for the horizontals, yeah.
But here it's quite wide. You know, it's they started off all right, but then nothing's sort of going on.
Oh, you
here.
mean the starters are all in
Yeah,
there?
they've started here, and then look, there's
And then they'll put those-
there's nothing.
Yeah, well,
I'm just
yeah.
showing what I've got.
Yeah,
Right.
there's no point in showing me, like, because I
No.
don't know about any of this.
Who was the LPB block?
The one that charged Daryl, obviously.
Daryl.
But there was
Daryl Joseph.
actually 4 block layers on site
Yeah.
that did the work. So
But he was the LPB.
And
no, there was 4 LPB block layers that did different jobs on the site. So he was just one of them.
yeah, and this one here is well, that shows obviously the bond beam up here.
Mm.
You know, and obviously you're aware what should be on the bond beam.
Yep.
What?
Oh, steel, of course.
Yeah, and that's just a close up. It's not there. So I'm just again.
Yeah.
Well,
I know.
I have to. You know, no charges. You want to know what it. You know that.
But how can you go against MBIE?
I'm
just saying, you guys are here for, you guys are representing the prosecution. I'm just saying to you, how can you go against MBIE, the LPB scheme, who say that a builder, an LPB builder, doesn't matter whether he's in charge of the whole site or not, he cannot supervise an LPB block layer. It's illegal to do so. So how can you say that the LPB builder is responsible? It is illegal for an LPB block layer to do building work, and it's illegal vice versa. So this here,
Can I just we get through this?
yeah, but you're showing me stuff that I can't really comment on
Okay.
because
Well,
I wasn't involved in it.
Yeah, but was part of the investigation.
But I wasn't involved in it, Mike. I've seen it all. I haven't been involved in it. You haven't even given me some of these pictures as disclosure, Bill. They haven't even given us these pictures as disclosure.
This
not
was
all of these.
disclosed. This was disclosed.
Way
Way back.
We'll go back and review.
Yeah. Because I don't even remember seeing that picture there with
This
the
picture
3
here?
blocks taken out. No, I don't remember seeing any of those ones with all the walls taken out.
They were between the 10th and 13th of September 2000.
But you haven't given me those. I think.
These are the ones that were put up on the Dropbox link.
Yeah, this was a long time ago, Danny. Look at the dates. Like that's 10th to 13th.
I'll go back.
2018.
I'll go back through.
Yeah, you can, yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'll go back through. But
I mean,
I haven't seen
want
those
to take
ones.
a copy,
Mike, I haven't seen those ones with the missing walls taken out yet. I haven't seen those.
Oh, that one, yeah, that just came out of that. All right, so.
Where was that one?
And that was the 8th. Well, the 8th, the 5th, you must have been.
Where's that one with the missing walls? Because I've never ever seen that.
Okay, we'll have a look.
And I've looked through it. That one there I've never seen. I've looked through every single thing in the Dropbox.
Right.
I've never seen that.
Well, you should have these because also that's when Dave was on site as well.
Only the photos that he took. He'd never given me any of this. Any of the I think maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
because
I've never seen those other
this
ones.
one here, right, is $2.99.
Yeah, I know, but I've never seen those other ones.
You've never seen those?
No, never ever.
Okay.
Never ever.
Yeah,
But I say it again, how can I be
Have you seen-
responsible as an LPB builder when I'm not a block layer?
Have you seen these?
I can't remember. No,
No.
not 3 of them. I don't think so.
Well, that's
I've only ever seen photos of one
that was
block
the 10th
taken
to the
out.
13th night,
Yeah, but whether yeah.
2018, right? These are sequential photograph references,
Yeah.
right? So here's 13, and then these were taken on the 8th.
It doesn't matter what date it is, Mike.
When-
I haven't seen them.
That's the same wall, right? And that was when there was a hole punched. That was the same day again. Dave Allen was there. I might have another photograph of Dave here. I don't know actually, to be honest.
And to clarify for the record, that's photographs showing 3 invasive tests on the block walls and the front wall near the entrance to 299.
Yeah, I'll just show you these ones. And
But
if you don't,
Yeah, I know, but I don't need to see them because I don't know anything about them.
You don't know these again. These were they're referenced by Colin Jacobson again.
I know, but I don't know anything about the block walls because I wasn't not involved in any block walls. The LPB block layer was.
Right. Okay. Just for the record again, then that's 301 Lakes Boulevard.
I have an email too from the LPB board stating that as well. that an LPB builder is not responsible for anything a LPB block layer does. So why you charged me, I wouldn't know.
Well, that's one of these guys. That's for the record. This one here, I'm just showing you
I
quickly.
haven't seen that with the,
Okay.
with the notes on it either.
This is 301A. There's a whole lot of ways sent back, you know, to way back.
No, not
There's all
these.
the Dropbox stuff.
They seem to me, I'll check my emails to make sure I forward it to you.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last one here is 307. Again, as you said, Danny, it's referred to by Colin Jacobson.
Yeah, it's just where he measured them. You know, you don't know. You know, we don't know where he measured them, what height, what the measurements are. You know, like when they did the invasive testing, why didn't they let me go and have a look when they were actually doing it on site?
They did
The original invasive testing, no, they didn't.
They did the second, or the 8th, the 5th.
Yeah, but they never ever let me look at the original. They never gave me the opportunity to go and have a look at it.
That was an
No.
arrangement between.
So there was a protocol put in place, but
Yeah, but they did all the invasive testing before
Yeah.
that protocol, and then they repaired the walls after that. You know,
I think that was a requirement
of the judge.
of the owners and the.
No, Tauranga City Council applied to the courts, didn't they, to do the
Yeah,
invasive
so-
testing? Not the owners. The owners didn't want you to.
Okay, I did the invasive testing under direction of Colin Jacobson.
Yeah,
Right.
and directed by the courts.
And there's some documents that came through the prosecution side of it in respect to that. You know,
So you did the invasive testing, then did the charges. You say?
the charge is not prepared by myself.
No. The council did the charges after the invasive testing. They couldn't have done it before. They couldn't have charged me before they did the invasive testing, because they give me measurements of the steel, you know.
Yeah.
So, but all I'm saying is,
I'm obliged, you know, because we're here.
yeah.
All right, and that's the reason we're going through the charges.
But Michael,
Right,
I'm
and
obliged to tell you is that I'm not responsible for something a LPB block layer does.
I know, but there's also, you know, and that's a matter that you'll argue with, you know, being a director of a company, you know, the responsibility and stuff like that.
anyway, look, it's something that will be for the judge to determine.
You know, I was a director of a company, and I was in.
But see what I mean? This isn't about any dropping of charges or anything like that. This is just about getting information.
Okay, sorry.
So,
How about just a couple of questions about the section 362V charges, which relate to code of compliance certificates? A couple of questions about
the
that.
commercial on seller.
Yep. And then we'll wrap up, eh? Does that sound good?
Yeah,
If you want to say something, Dan.
Are you aware of your responsibilities as a developer with respect to allowing possession of properties without a code of compliance certificate being granted?
yeah, Danny's sought my advice on it. I think we'll leave that one because it's ambiguous and we'll have to. It'll be something the judge's going to have to sort out. Danny certainly can't answer that question.
Okay.
I mean, he sought my advice on that very question, and the answer is ambiguous, to say the least. So that's going to be for the judge to have to determine.
Okay. Can I ask you?
It's going to be tested, is it?
Can I ask you, please, who provided the handover or keys to the properties before the CCCs were granted?
Shall I answer that one?
Oh, if you don't know, you don't know.
It was either Craig Carter or Cherie who worked in the office. Handed the keys over as per contract.
Cherie Norris?
Yep.
Okay.
So as per the contract stated, on completion, on final pass, which we have, they had all the documentation from final pass of the houses. They were to hand over the keys for possession of the house, but there was never anything saying that they could move in. And if you actually looked at the contract, you'd see that it stated that in the build contract with the owners as well. I never gave them permission to do anything.
Did Bella Vista have a server? Computer server?
Cloud-based, yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to cover off before we wrap up?
I think all the passwords and everything to that server were given to the original liquidators, actually. The ones that gave us all the cancellation of contracts.
Sorry?
The original liquidators. So the original liquidators before, where are they? EY?
They're from Christchurch, aren't they?
EY,
Mm.
yeah, but the original were RC Roland or something like that. Based here, they were given all the codes for and everything to get into the server. So I don't know what they did with them, but they also supplied all the cancellation of contracts too on all of those houses. You know, the commercial on seller ones. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What has happened to the server?
You'd have to ask Microsoft, eh? I don't know. Have no idea.
So is it cloud-based storage for?
Maybe, I
for
think
your
so.
data?
I think so. I'm not quite sure actually.
So you're saying there wasn't a hard drive server that?
It's got nothing to do with the charges, so drop it. Eh?
Anything else you want to cover off?
Gone through on E3, haven't you? Yeah.
E3, the engineers.
Geotech engineers. Who engaged in? Do you know a guy called Hamish?
Hamish Dodge or Dodd or Dodd.
Hamish Pierce Danker.
I dealt with him once.
Yeah.
That was on the 309 blocks because the foundations were in the wrong place. Well, the steel was actually out. So I dealt with him once to rectify, and I came in and rectified that issue with Hamish.
Who engaged E3 on behalf of Bella Vista Homes?
That would have been Dylan Battenberg from Khalees Design.
Okay. Would that have been done with your agreement?
No,
Were
that was
you-
just up to them.
Oh, okay.
Whatever engineers they used.
Okay. Well, you were paying their invoices, weren't you? Well, Bella Vista was. For E3?
I don't think the designer was.
No. So wouldn't you have a say in
No.
who's engaged?
No,
Okay.
they used their preferred engineers,
Okay.
like everyone uses their preferred contractors.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, and yeah, just to clarify too, the sequence of these project managers and the dates, rough dates. So the first project manager was who on the site?
First project manager for Bella Vista Homes was Danny Cancian.
Oh, that was at Anita Way?
No. Yeah, up to Anita Way, yeah.
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 Okay. And then after that,
And also Ian Manel was also on Anita Way as well.
was he?
Yeah.
Okay. And roughly, do you know when he finished?
Oh, I can't tell you.
No.
I can tell you.
And then who took over?
Lee Corner took over. And that's the only reason he was employed. He was paid $95,000 a year.
Okay. And then who else after that?
That was it.
So it was just two project managers.
Yeah.
You mentioned Dean Skipper's name before. What
He was operations manager.
Oh, okay.
So he coordinated all the trades and everybody that came in. So he coordinated all that, and then Lee obviously went out on site and made it happen on site.
Mm-hmm.
So it was always Dean Skipper and Lee Corner.
Okay.
We covered Daryl Joseph. Did you have any dealings with Daryl Joseph?
Not on site, no.
No.
No, not on site on these sites here. I went and saw him a couple of times on other sites, like in Boulder Lane when he was doing bricks, you know, and that was about it. But he was a friend of Ian Manel's,
Right.
and Ian Manel organised him from Wanganui to come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so he was actually a friend of Ian Manel's, and I don't know. I thought he was okay. I didn't really know him. I didn't, yeah.
Yeah. Is there anyone that we have not interviewed that you think we should?
Can't think actually.
Nobody
you've-
comes to mind?
Well, I don't know. You've given me those statements that we've got now.
Yeah.
You'd have to give me a list of all the other people you've interviewed, and not, you know, give them the statements to the prosecutor, I suppose, and then I could tell you.
Okay.
So
Can we leave it this way? This is an ongoing inquiry. There are still some statements yet to be signed. I'm talking about a very small number. Talking about maybe 3 left to be signed that I know of. When you have those, feel free to ask through Bill. That is, if there is anyone that comes to mind that you think we should interview, let Bill know, and if he sees fit, he can let us know. Okay.
yeah, well,
So I'll leave that.
There'll
off
probably be a
on
whole
the
lot of
table.
witnesses on my side
Yeah, well, I'm talking
that you won't
about.
get a chance to interview.
We can only be investigators for one party, not both.
I know
You
that,
understand?
and that's why
Yeah.
I wouldn't give you anyone that I think is going to
No, I
be
just
okay on my side of
I make the offer
That's
defence,
That's
yeah.
fine, mate.
in the interests of
Yeah.
a responsible prosecutor wanting to do an objective investigation.
So if they want to get it all right, why didn't they charge everybody else, all the other LPBs and all the other people that were involved?
Such as?
Well, the foundation guy Rob Gibson, other block layers like they did work up there, and lots of other people.
It's not my decision who gets charged with what. That's above my pay scale. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just asking
So-
the question.
Yeah.
Why aren't there other charges? You know why? Probably because it's outside the 6-month time limit too. Probably.
I think I'll probably suggest that we
Yeah.
wrap up the interview now, and I think we've covered off everything we need to, unless
Yeah. Okay. Just one last question. Is there anything that you would do differently?
Not be here, that's for sure.
No, but serious question.
Yeah. seriously.
In the benefit of hindsight,
yeah.
and
wish
sitting
I-
here and now in the same circumstances, is there anything different?
I
that
wish
you
I
would do?
I probably wouldn't have employed Craig Carter. That he was employed by Daniel Martin, Ian Manel, all of these people that actually stuffed up a whole lot of stuff on this one here. So that's the one thing that I wish that I could have done different, is actually employ different people. Because those people like Ian Manel come in and they tell you how great they are and what they can do and this and that and who they've worked for, and then they let you down. Yeah, and maybe some of the builders. Yeah. But obviously at the time there was a building boom and there was a shortage of contractors and tradespeople, and you had to just do what you could to get the houses built at the time, you know. And I wish I'd just employed better staff in my organisation, in Bella Vista's organisation. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll wrap it up. I make the time now 5:35. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for coming again. Thank you.
And the elapsed time is 2 hours and coming up 2 hours 10 minutes.
Yeah.